Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Alberto has made landfall in Mexico along the northern coast early this morning around daybreak. And now it has weakened to a tropical depression with sustained winds of 35 miles per hour. Its pressure has gone up to 999 millibars, and its movement continues to be directly westward at 18 miles per hour. So it's starting to move a good bit faster. We still have these two areas of interest that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring over this next week. Then this is Invest 92L here, heading towards the northern coast of Florida and the coast of Georgia, which now has a medium chance of development at 40% over the next 2 to 7 days. The National Hurricane Center says a small area of low pressure located about 150 miles northeast of the northernmost Bahamas continues to produce disorganized shower and thunderstorm activity. While environmental conditions are only marginally conducive due to nearby dry air, further development of this system could lead to the development of a tropical depression while the low moves west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour and approaches the northeastern coast of Florida or the Georgia coast early on Friday. An Air Force Reserve reconnaissance aircraft is en route to investigate this system. So we will get some actual Air Force reconnaissance data from the system to see actually how strong it is currently and to see if it is really starting to consolidate maybe or become more likely to form into some kind of tropical cyclone, most likely at most a tropical depression before it moves into the southeast coast, either along the Georgia coast or northeastern Florida coast. Now down here we've got the second disturbance, which is looking like a much more likely area to develop into a more significant tropical system, and more likely than not our next named storm than this disturbance. Now, currently, it's a broad area of low pressure that is forecast to form over the southeastern Mexico and northern Central America on Friday. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development after this system moves over the Bay of Campeche on Saturday, and a tropical depression could form over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico this weekend, while it moves slowly west-northwestward or northwestward this weekend. This weekend. Currently it has a low 20% chance of development in the next 2 days, but over the next week it has a medium 50% chance already to develop into a tropical system. And we'll look at where it's most likely to develop. You can see it's basically in that same exact area that Alberto was named and formed in. So, it seems like it could make landfall possibly a bit more north than Alberto did, maybe closer to the Texas and Mexico border as we get into next week. So let's check out how Alberto currently looks. It's already remnants of Alberto. And you can see it's bringing a ton of moisture over Mexico, bringing a ton of rainfall, flooding, storm surge flooding as well to especially all of coastal Texas. Let's look at the models, and actually let's take a look at what Invest 92L currently looks like. Right now, 92L, as we look at the IR imagery, microwave IR imagery, you can see it's not really all that organized too well whatsoever. There's main area of strongest convection towards where a potential center could form in this area, but as of right now, it stays pretty disorganized. And we'll see if it gets any better organized and forms into most likely a tropical depression in the coming days and into tomorrow, especially into Friday. Now, let's look at the forecast models to see what they are showing for the North Atlantic, and we'll as well focus in on the Western Atlantic, which is really the prime focus. So let's make sure you guys can all see this. Now, we are at the current moment in time at 18Z as of now at around 2 p.m. Thursday, and we'll move this forward in time into tonight and into tomorrow. You can see this is really that area that we're going to be focusing on the most heading into this weekend and next week. That will more likely than not become our next named storm. You see, this is the GFS model, by the way, and the GFS model has 92L, not really doing much of anything, bringing some rainfall, maybe enhanced rainfall to Florida, Georgia, maybe South Carolina into this weekend. And you can see the GFS starts to show a closed area of low pressure eventually in the very southern southwestern Gulf of Mexico, in the same area Alberto formed in. And as you can see, it continues to move westward and into the northern coast of Mexico, just like Alberto did, bringing more enhanced rainfall, more gusty winds potentially, and maybe even some more heightened storm surge. Now, we continue to move this forward in time to see if the GFS captures anything as tropics-wise, and see if we get any other potential tropical systems as we really move farther out in time into late next week and into next weekend. You can see maybe there's this area of potential disturbed weather that could become a tropical system, but otherwise not really too much going on that we really need to pay much attention to at this point. Again, we really are just focusing on this general area of disturbed weather that is heading into the Gulf of Mexico and the same general region Alberto formed in, and is currently hitting Mexico and impacting the coast of Texas right now. So that is what the GFS is showing. Let's look at the European model. And this is still the 6Z run of the European model from this morning. You can see here is that giant area of what was Alberto. This is the disturbed area that is going to move into the same area Alberto did. And this is 92L over here. We move it forward in time if we can. I don't know, are we not able to? There we go. All right, there we go. Now we're moving forward in time. You can see the European model also has that southwestern Gulf of Mexico system forming a closed area of low pressure, and moves it into Mexico as we head into the end of this weekend and into the beginning of next week, bringing with it a lot more heavy rainfall, potentially a lot more flooding rainfall, and maybe even some more storm surge, just like Alberto had. Now let's take a look at the Canadian model. This will be the final model we'll look at, and you can see here is the remnants of Alberto. Once again, here is that next Gulf of Mexico system, and that is 92L. All three major global models show 92L not really doing anything, maybe bringing some just like some rainy conditions to Florida, Georgia, maybe South Carolina heading towards Friday and the beginning of this weekend. But it's really, once again, this next southwest Gulf of Mexico system that the Canadian model also shows having a closed area of low pressure, bringing more enhanced rainfall, flooding rainfall, and maybe some minor storm surge as well, like Alberto, to Mexico and maybe even the Texas coast as well. So that is really it for today's video, guys. I really hope you found it enjoyable, helpful, informative. We already have had our first named storm of the season, Alberto, and it looks likely that we will have our second named storm of the season, which the next name on the list is Beryl, the B named storm, and we'll likely have that in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico as we head into next week as well. So once again, hopefully you enjoyed this video, found it informative, helpful, insightful. If you did, comment down below. If any of you guys live in coastal Texas or even Mexico where Alberto is impacting, or if you guys have any thoughts on how strong and what this next southwest Gulf of Mexico system will do. And as well, subscribe to the channel for future content like this if you like this type of content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.